3.3 million ounces of gold equivalent and possibly growing out in Western Australia. Here to tell us more is Roger Mason, the Managing Director of Antipa Minerals. Roger, it's a pleasure to see you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks, Shay. Yeah, I'm very happy that we've had such a productive year and we've pretty much got all the information we have to hand into the market. So it's a good ending to the year.
It certainly is. In fact, what a way to end 2026. Look, let's start off with this 3.3 million ounce gold equivalent resource. But also, too, I wouldn't mind you elaborating on how your recent discovery at your RPS site fits into this.
Oh, good question, Shay. Yeah, so I mean, this year we've been running dual strategies in terms of our program. So we've had the de-risking process for the Minyari development opportunity. So that's the Prefeasibility study that's ongoing. But we've also been able to continue with our mineral resource growth work and also discovery work, which has led to maiden resource positions in this update and future maiden resource opportunities. So what we've achieved from all of that work based on the results out today is the resource has increased by a further about 163,000 ounces of gold to 2.7 million ounces of gold. And it's now, as you said, 3.3 million ounces of gold equiv. And the equiv is made up by the addition of 90,000 tonnes of copper, 700,000 ounces of silver and some cobalt. So that's a very substantial achievement. And then if you look at the growth in the resource this calendar year, so post the October 2024 scoping study, we've actually added, close to 300,000 ounces of gold to that resource. So that will be available for the pre-feasibility study work that's ongoing. So yeah, it's been a fantastic effort and a fantastic result for the team and for investors. In terms of your query RPS, as mentioned, we're very much on the hunt for further discoveries and further resource growth opportunities. We've been working within a sort of potential satellite radius around that Minyari hub, if you like. So we've been testing targets out to about, circa 30 k's from Minyari itself. RPS, we've now got all grade RC intersections from that deposit area. That release that you mentioned from a few weeks ago had 32 metres at 1.5 grams per tonne gold, just under 20 metres of cover. So we've now got meat on the bones that we can pursue for a maiden resource opportunity up there next year. So that was fantastic.
I wouldn't mind just drawing on two things you said in that answer. You talked about adding copper equivalent, but also in your PFS that's currently underway, your pre-feasibility study that's currently underway, you're seeing some positive metallurgy in relation to that copper. What does that mean for investors?
Yeah, good question, Shay. So what the MET test work from the PFS has been demonstrating is that there's a very positive extraction of the copper that we're seeing from the residue of the CIL plant, the liquor from the CIL plant. So when we did the scoping study, we looked at two scenarios. We looked at gold-only case, CIL plant, a bit of silver comes along for the ride. And then we also looked at a flotation, a copper concentrator, which then the gold was sort of within that copper concentrate. And the economics were much stronger for the gold or the CIL case. PFS MET test work, which has been sort of a 12-month program, that's now identified the potential to do CIL up front, so you get your gold dior, and then the liquor from the CIL goes into a flotation circuit, and it's been extracting commercial grade copper concentrates. So what that does now is provide a very strong possibility that the pre-feasibility processing flow sheet may well be CIL and with a back end of copper flotation. So the production from the company's assets there would be gold and a copper concentrate in separate products. So that's been a very significant step forward for the project. It unlocks the value in the copper, which is obviously enjoying a pretty good pricing market as well, and the future looks great. And then the gold obviously is the dominant economic driver of the project.
So essentially, Roger, you finished 2025 so strong. So how do you kick off 2026? I mean, you've got the PFS underway. There's a potential increase in ounces in the ground again. What else can investors keep their eye out for next year?
Shay, look, the board set the strategy, at the start of this year where we wanted to strive, aspirationally to increase the project production life at Minyari by 3 years. And that was to include drilling programs from 2025 and the next 2 years. So, our strong balance sheet enables us to continue with that strategy. We've already delivered, as I said, close to 300,000 additional gold ounces to the resource. So when we get into next year, we remain funded to continue and complete, in fact, the PFS and the DFS work, but we can also continue those discretional drilling programs. So what we've got now is proximal to Minyari, within less than 1 to 2 k's. We have several significant deposits, such as Fiamma and Geo-01 Main Zone, for example, and the new discoveries south of that, which all remain open. Multiple of those deposits are open along strike, and a number of them are open down dip as well. So proximal to Minyari, we'll get on with that drilling program, extend the existing resources to boost the potential DFS reserve, and then increase the maiden resource south of Geo-01. And then we can tackle, as mentioned, things like RPS, where there's a clear maiden resource opportunity to the north. And then to the south, we've got things like Tim's Dome, where our recent air core program sort of bulked out the corridor of gold mineralisation from what was really a central core, 100 to 150 metres across, to now we're seeing 300 to 600 metres of potential for further follow-up and resource growth down there at Tim's Dome, which is only about 25 k's from Minyari. So ultimately, the project will continue to expand. We'll end up with further resource and into the future reserve at the Minyari Dome area, and then we aim to have several or multiple satellite opportunities that can then also feed into that production horizon over time.
Roger, it sounds like there is an awful lot happening ahead, and 2026 is going to be just as exciting. Thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to future updates.
Yeah, thanks, Shane. Everyone there, have a great Chrissy, and we'll see you in 2026.